Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, the channel that saves you money. That's what this channel is all about. Listen, in this video, I will be changing oil in a 03 CTS Cadillac, and if you are interested in doing so, you should. Listen, this video will give you step by step on how to do so and to be safe. The first thing is safety. Safety is always first. It's the most important thing. So when I say that, we're gonna put a chuck block in the front and in the rear of the wheel on the rear tire, because we're gonna jack it up from the front so we can actually be able to get underneath to actually lift the vehicle to change the filter. Let's walk over to the other side. I have a drop light. What we're going to do, yes, there is a mark here. And do not put the jack over here. I recommend to jack the vehicle on the frame here. Try to stay away anything. This is the floor support. So stay away from the floor support. You don't want any body damage. So just stay away from that. And I'm not saying you can't jack it up there, but I would not recommend that. And I would just put the jack right underneath the chassis and just jack it up this way. And then floor jacks, the jack stands, this is where you put the floor jack, but the jack stands, we're going to actually go underneath the front of the lower control arm and put the jack stands there so we can have some clearance to get underneath. But never go underneath a vehicle with just a jack alone. And forgive me if I seem like I'm spending a lot of time on this, but I think to me safety is first, and that is what's important. There we go. Hey, safety is always first. It's best to be safe than sorry, but you rather have some type of support other than the jacks. And you don't have to go out and buy two jacks. I just happen to have two jacks, so that's why I do it this way. But if I only had one jack, of course that's fine, and I just lift one side up at a time, and until I get it where I want it. All right, we're going to go ahead and change our oil. Well, there are 4 items that you will be needing. You need a 24 millimeter wrench to take off the filter canister, or you can use a adjustable wrench. You're going to need a T47 tool to actually take off the engine oil plug, the oil pan plug. And of course you need some type of bucket to actually drain your oil in, and your oil filter, and of course a rag. Normally I have on disposable gloves. I ran out, so I'm gonna have to get by without. So you may wonder where the items are located. So this is your oil plug here, and your oil filter here. So first thing I want to do, I just want to take this loose. And sometimes you can actually screw this off with your hand. So we made sure that you do have your pan underneath. I have drained oil and forgot to put my pan underneath and realized I didn't have a pan. And I'm looking around for a pan while oil is steadily draining. So I can't believe I'm telling that story, but it has happened a couple of times. That's why your mind really has to be on this. You have to have a clear mind when you're doing an oil change. All right, there's the filter. So now I'm gonna take loose our oil plug. And believe me, you won't be able to break this loose unless you, well, some of you guys may be able to. I can't break it loose with this little short handle. So I had to put a wrench on it to actually break it loose. There we go. And again, let's make sure we got our oil pan in the right place. All right, so I'm gonna let that drain. I think my pan is deep enough. And I want to point out this, that there's a O-ring in the inside of this plug, and it will wear out. And I have an O-ring kit, and occasionally I would say maybe every 5 oil change, you may need to replace this O-ring in here. So I want to take a look at it. It may be good to go. Matter of fact, this O-ring is not even on here. It's still on the oil pan. So chances are I'll probably be putting another O-ring on the oil plug here. I got me a universal O-ring kit, and like I said, occasionally you will have to replace this O-ring. Now I'm going to look inside of the filter and see if they kindly put, well, no, that's not going to be for the, and I'm going to show you what these O-rings are actually for, but they do not have one here for the oil plug. And that's no problem. So let's see here. Just pretty much gonna try to match it up. This one may be a little bit too small. Well, this one is a little too big. Or is it? I think I'll be able to get away with this one. I'm gonna try it. I took the liberty to, this is your canister, remember, for the oil filter. And I took liberty to actually spray some brake cleaner in it to actually clean it out. You have an O-ring here out of the filter here to actually replace this O-ring. So we're going to do that. And I believe that small O-ring, if you happen to notice that, that's going to be inside of here. If you take this off, and you can actually let the filter drain. For me, I never seen it to be really beneficial for me to do that, since I had to take off the oil filter anyway. So to me, this is just a waste of time. But I think during that time, Cadillac felt like it was a good idea. But it's not. It's not. You have to take this off anyway. So we're gonna go ahead and let me get a screwdriver or O-ring pit to get this off. Let's see here. Just got a little screwdriver here. Just pry that right up. We don't need that anymore. Let's get the new one. Put that back on. Just make sure you put it back in the right place. And just notice where the old one came off at. And your filter. You notice that this end goes to the bottom. It's going to fit right inside of this ring here. It's going to pop right in. So you may hear it. There you go. Right there. So it should just stay. So we're going to screw that back up. And we got a new O-ring on our oil plug here. We just screw that back in place. Well, I think I'll take this plug off, this O-ring. Yeah, it was wore out. It's time for it to be replaced again. You can see where it's broken, how it started coming apart. And that's fine. Okay, let's put the oil filter back in place. You know, and when you tighten this up, you don't have to put too much force on it, but you want to make sure it's up there. And keep in mind, it is plastic. And when she stopped turning, just stop. Just make sure I got it in there good. That's good enough. Yep, that's all you want. Let's put our plug back. I miss my gloves. But sometimes it gets so hot, I feel better not even having them on my hand. Get in there. You know, at least doing your own oil change, you know it got done. And nothing against Jiffy Lube or any place like that, but it kind of scares me when I have a kid that actually do my oil change. Nothing personal, but especially when I see them on their cell phone or they arguing with their girlfriends or something like that. I'm a little weary about them changing oil in my car after they get off the phone. Okay. So in case you're curious how much oil came out of it and what did it look like, well, this is her. 5 quarts came out of it, and that's what you need to do to put 5 quarts back in it. Now, I asked Cadillac dealer, the service manager, years ago, what type of oil do I put in here? Because if you notice, there's nothing on here written. And he told me, he said, Daryl, you can put whatever oil you want to put in it. I said, are you kidding me? So I started out using 5W30, and I have been using that for years, but now I've been using 5W40 synthetic. So that's what I'm going to put back in her today. Well, I feel like I got 5 quarts in here. I still like to check my engine oil. Just like to check behind myself at all times. And that's what you want. In case you want to know how to check it, you want your engine oil to actually be, there's a dot right there. You don't want to go past that dot. And you don't want to have too much in her, and you definitely want to have enough. But you want to make sure your level line stays right up here. If you have too much oil, you can actually blow a rear main seal or a front seal, and you definitely don't want that. That's about $2,500 worth of work to repair. Fire her up. We're going to make sure there's nothing leaking. Everything looks good. Plug looks good. Filter looks good. No leaks there. That's what you want. We have changed the engine oil, and I need to change my t-shirt. I have sweat so much. But now you know how to do this, and that's a great thing. But there's one thing I need to show you just in case you do not know how to do, and that is to reset your engine oil light to get it back to 100%. So that's something we're going to do now. Okay, let's go over here to the dash. Well, not the dash, but, well, over here by the radio. Let's see what we got here. Let's hit the clear button. We see oil is at 43%. Let's hit that button. Just hold down on it. It's back to 100%. There you go. All right, everyone. I thank you for looking at my channel, and I hope this video was helpful. And stay tuned, and you will see more videos to help you to save money. That's what this channel is all about. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.